One Livery is changing the landscape for UK retail businesses and the healthcare industry to be able to serve their customers at home better. I'm sitting down with the co-founders today, Adriana Gonçalves and Kevin Haji Rahim, to get deeper into exactly what they're doing to make the UK more sustainable with last mile delivery and how they're changing the game for high street retailers to stay competitive against the booming e-commerce landscape. Firstly, Kevin, I know it's a rare opportunity to have you in the studio, so thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
You. Pleasure.
And Adriana, it's good to have you back in as well.
Thank you.
Guys, I know that the last month has been super busy with what you guys have been doing to get the name of One Livery out there. So why don't we just start off with a roundup of what's been happening over the last month? What have you guys been up to in the company?
Thank you. I appreciate that. And also for Kevin to be here today with us. That's an exciting opportunity because, over the last month, we have visited a number of conferences. We participated in summits. We've just returned from the Web Summit in Lisbon, which was a great opportunity for us to build exposure in the company, see and understand what's happening out there, and also other conferences that we've participated, the Blue Earth Summit. Those conferences, they are really good for us to get some sort of feedback to our company to see where we are in the industry. And what I mean by that is that learning what other people are doing around and see if our mission, our company resonates with with our public, with our audience, with our clients, customers, and it was quite busy. So and I'm happy to be here today.
Yeah, no, I think you guys are in Lisbon up until just a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah,
we just arrived in. Yeah, it was a fantastic experience going to Lisbon. We got to, for myself, because I'm more focused on the technology aspect. So going there, being exposed to what's new and thinking about what can be applied to One Livery as well. So I think that was a great exposure. In terms of technology, since the beginning, we've been a little bit like rushing towards making sure that we have technology that's been developed for the customer's needs. Now we're at the stage where we're a bit stable, so we can now go into more looking at investments and exploring other new technologies that can be applied that we never thought about before.
Amazing. So why don't we start off with the fact that just recently you were at a pharmacy show, right? And I love what you said, which is you're going out there to see what kind of feedback you're getting. Now, as a company that's tech-based and focused on bringing e-commerce to retail, you'd think that most of the time you'd spend your efforts marketing online and getting feedback online. How important has it been for you to be in person at these events to get this feedback, and what has it helped you achieve in the business, not just from the ideas that you've got from this event, but even from past events that you've been attending?
Yeah, no, I think that it's a very good question, and it's really important for us to, as I said, understand our position in the market. And the Birmingham show, the pharmacy show, we had there were about 9,000 businesses that went to participate, and being in the industry to help pharmacies delivering critical medication, doing the last mile, it was a good validation for us, for our company, to go out there, talk to them and understand what other players are doing in this particular field. And when we went to the pharmacy show, our goal was to have two leads, two companies that would be interested in our product. So we came back with nearly 100 from the summit, from the pharmacy show, and I think that was something that we didn't expect to have, and it was a great thing for us to do. And also together with that, I understood that we have much more to develop and create. So that's more work for Kevin as well. But it was a good validation, and it was great to see this appetite to what we are providing and the technologies that we can provide to these customers, to these businesses. And it was a great experience overall.
Amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't part of the Birmingham show. I was still in Thailand at the time. But one thing that we did discuss was pivoting what we're currently doing into something that would be more innovative and more profitable. So I think that's one of the main things that's really that we can really take away from these events.
Okay, so let's get a little bit deeper into that, because this feedback sounds incredibly valuable to shape the direction in which the company's going. So, what was the direction that you were looking to head in before you had this information and feedback? And what are some of the changes that you're now implementing to help change the trajectory of the company being more focused on growth?
Yeah, those are really good questions, and I think like for us, before we went to the pharmacy show, we had quite an internal focus in terms of making the tool more available and ready and convenient for riders as we're scaling, as we're getting more customers. So our focus was really into the efficiencies and inefficiencies inside the company. But being at the pharmacy show, it really helped us to understand the demand, the consumer, and also the supply for the kind of services that we provide, especially in the critical medication delivery service. And this is one thing that we were thinking about it before, but just it helped us to speed up the process in terms of being operational as a SaaS company and directly start implementing tools and features that other retailers, they will benefit from the software that we create, the software that we produce, and really provide that service as a software instead of just a last mile delivery service. So I think that's the addition that we had for the pharmacy show. And it was really good for us then, because before we start creating something, it's always it's important to have at least like a waiting list of customers that wants to sign up for the particular product. And I think we proved that, and we came back with a number of people interested in our software and the route optimization tool that we use internally. And we had a number of people that they were like, oh, this would be really helpful. We don't have that. Can we have access to this? And this is how we happen to be 40% more efficient than our closest competitors, because of tools like this that we've created that help us to deliver faster the last mile and provide the full traceability for the products, the medication, the goods they're delivering. And there was a good appetite for the retailers out there to license, to make use of this software. So we are planning to implement that and make it available to our customers. So there'll be a bit of more work for us to do then.
Exactly, spot on. I mean, make it simply put, to summarize what he said is, we're taking on a lot of the workload for the customers, but now we're thinking about, of course, helping customers, helping our customers and our clients and pharmacies to scale and to grow, but also we want to give them more power on the platform. We want to give them more features that will help them if they want to change the way that we're operating and they want to have more responsibilities, take on more responsibilities to fine-tune their processes, not just ourselves.
I think it's so important to highlight the way you guys work in this, because what you said is so true. You want to have some sort of proof of concept that what you're building is wanted by your customers, and having a wait list is a great way to create that demand essentially before you even have the product. And I don't know if you know about a guy called Daniel Priestley. He talks about this a lot as well.
Daniel, yeah.
Yeah. So
met him at the Ideas Fest.
Yeah, there you go. So, have the idea, get proof of concept, get people onto a wait list, and then build it for them. But one of the challenges, especially with tech, is that you want to make it accessible for as many people as possible. So how do you navigate being focused on needing to serve individual customers' needs, but still creating a platform that is accessible to every single one of your clients that will be there to use it?
Yeah, that's a an interesting question, and I think like one way for us to think, it's always to put the customer first, and how can we add value to this customer's journey? What is their what is their struggle? What do they actually have? What sort of problems do they face on a day-to-day basis? And I think like one of the advantage that we have, at least for myself, to be at the forefront and delivering to customers, and also being part of being a rider, I think that really helped me to understand and to develop this mindset and see like what are the problems that one customer is having over here, that it will multiply further down the road with other retailers, with other pharmacies, hospitals, and be able to create those tools that will add value to their journey more than just us trying to push like another product into the market. And having that exposure with our clients, visiting them on a regular basis, and really understanding where the gaps are with the riders and how we are fulfilling each order. I think that's really important, and it helps us not to fix the problem for one particular customer, but also to multiply that and help others along the line.
Amazing.
Yeah, what I love about Adriano is that he listens. He listens to the customers, I think. He listens, but maybe misunderstands sometimes. No, I'm just joking. No, he really does listen. He takes notes of all the important requirements from these customers. And us and the engineering team, what we have to do is just find that common denominator. And we try to build it, launch it as soon as we can. But I think the true opportunity is what Adriano finds in the differences between the different customers. You know, those little niche requirements, and then we just tackle it on as soon as time is available. We find a common denominator, make sure that the customers are satisfied with the current product, but then we go ahead and attack with building those little niche features, especially the ones that we think will be profitable, will be valuable to all the customers.
I think like just to add on that one, is the one thing that you love and the one thing that you hate the most. Like when we build new features and then we focus on the customers,
yeah,
it adds a lot of complexity and like on the software side. So you have to be able to build a technology that technology to scale, and that's the key for being able to run the business, to being able to grow the business. It's really to build technologies and features that will be able to scale from one customer to 100, from 100 to 1,000 without having to modify the core value, the core feature of what we've created. So that's really important. And then sometimes I'm not really good at doing that. So I think that's safe to say.
One thing you need to work on is your patience, because once he gets an opportunity, he finds out that there might be something a customer needs. He's like, he gets on a call with me. He's like, Kevin, when can we build this thing? Can we do it now? Can we do it tomorrow? And we're like, a month from now? And he's like, no, tomorrow, mate.
So this is super interesting because like you guys both have a very similar background in software engineering. How did you decide as co-founders who would be responsible for each part of the businesses that you're responsible for now? Because obviously, Adriano, you're more focused on the front end in terms of speaking to the customers, getting that feedback, and then implementing those changes, or at least telling Kevin what it is you want to adapt to the product, and obviously looking after the team and the riders here in the UK. Yeah. And Kevin, your role is to essentially build out Adriano's wishes, essentially.
Yeah.
So exactly. How did you guys decide like who was going to take on those roles? And because you both have a similar background, so I'm assuming you could both do those jobs quite well.
Kevin.
Yeah. Well, Adriano has always been a people person. You know, he's very good at discussing with customers, with clients, better than me, I would say. And I think we kind of complement each other. So he's fantastic when he deals with customers. And I just love tech, and I love programming, I love software development, and I feel like my passions and my skill set is more valuable in that direction.
Yeah, I think like for myself and more straightforward answer, I think Kevin is a genius that I would never be able to. This is one thing that I always tell him, and I have a huge respect for him because of that. And it's interesting to say because when I was finishing my my final year at the university, I came in the second semester, and there was this kid sitting at the back of the classroom. And when I look back, I sat down and I remember that, and I thought myself like, this guy here, this lad, this kid here must be in the wrong classroom or something like that. And it was actually him finishing his final degree in software engineering. And the only reason why he couldn't join us in the first semester is because he was underage. He was 17 years old. And that's why he could not join us from the first semester. So, and it ended up him teaching me how to finish the degree and half of the classroom, because I mean, he's really clever, but he just doesn't say that. He will never say that how clever he is. So I think there was no questions in terms of who is going to run the rational, the software side of the company, because I would never be able to compete with that. So, and then I take care of the business, the people, and growing the business. So I think that's a more suitable role for myself.
I mean, that is amazing to know. And wow, we're sitting in the presence of a true genius, essentially, which is very cool.
He doesn't accept that.
Yeah,
he doesn't,
I can tell by the reaction.
About it. Like, oh, don't say it, please.
You're making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. more so than he was when he sat down in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
I was a genius.
So, I mean, guys, to be honest, it takes a lot of humility to recognize and a lot of self-awareness to recognize what your strengths are and to play to those strengths, when there may be parts of you or maybe other people listening to this who are even thinking about starting their own tech companies, or people who are in business at the moment with founders who are wanting to do parts or roles within the company that maybe aren't their strengths. Where did you guys get your self-awareness from? Like, what in your experiences helped you build that self-awareness that you're able to bring into your company today?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I worked for more than a decade as a consultant in the software industry, and I had the opportunity to contribute with teams in the technical and the business side. So when we first met, I graduated as a software engineer. I worked for 10 years in the industry, and more recently, I've completed an MBA program, really to build on the soft skills and the business skills that I felt that they were most needed to progress in my career. So later on, the company, the One Livery company, the idea spin off from a project that I did during the MBA. And realizing that, then together with my experience as a consultant for the past 10 years, I noticed that I was much better with people than computers. So, and that's one thing. And even for the people that do computing, even for the people that do software, I think we have to understand that where these geniuses, where they can get to just by like naturally thinking, having the rational mindset. I think like computer based mindset is really important, and it's definitely something that, like, looking the course of my career, I think that naturally I have to push myself to learn that. I have to push myself to think like that, and it's not something that comes natural as people skills, like talking in a negotiation or talking about business or connecting with others. I think those skills, they come more natural to me. I'm more comfortable in doing that. So therefore, I understand my space over the years, because it would take me another like century to catch up with these guys over here. So I think that's where my strength is, really on the people side more than the software. And I better just explore and utilize that and leave the software for these people so that they can run much better than I would ever be able to do it in 100 years from now.
No, he's selling himself short. You know, in university, he was actually nicknamed the Java expert by the professors, not by the students. But so he's selling himself short. He's actually very good at programming back in the day. I'm not sure about today, but I'm sure he does. He's still good. From my side, ever since I finished the software engineering degree, I haven't actually diverted away from it. I've gone into the industry. I worked for SEO companies. I've done back end, I've done front end. Then I moved into the education field as well. So I teach at a university. But at the same time, I'm developing information systems for the university, getting involved in some of their projects. So I never actually went into the business aspect of any company. I've always been focused on developing software, and that's where my passion lies. I do love coding and building something, and this is a product that was created from my hands. You know, that sort of feel, that gratification of building something that people are using, and you know, I'll be proud to say that, oh yeah, we've got these many customers are using something that I made, you know, and I just love that. And yeah, and Adriano is just absolutely wonderful with customers, and yeah.
Thanks for the compliment. That's really cute. Like
the first compliment you've had since you guys have been working
Yeah,
together.
yeah, exactly. Like it only took you 10 years.
More is coming. More is coming.
So clearly you both have found your passion and directed that into your roles within the company. How key has that passion been to help you fuel the mission of the company and keep you, how much has it been of a key element to keep you going in the company when there's been moments where you felt like things are getting extremely tough or you're hitting like hurdle after hurdle after hurdle? How much have you relied on that passion for not just what you do in terms of your roles in the company, but even your passion for the mission of the company?
Yeah, I think like from my side, one thing that I always think like for the worse it can be, for the during challenging times, it can't be as hard as this guy having to wake up 3 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the morning every day or 3-4 times a week to participate in our meetings. So because of that, that's one thing on the side that I have loads of respect for Kevin to be part of our journey, and the people that believed in what we're doing, our clients, my friends, and our team. And I think like also as a startup, it's also important to understand that it's not, and this is one thing that it stayed with me for during the since we start the company. Essentially, it's not about where the bus is going, it's about who is inside the bus. So that's really important for you when you're building a company, to have like a robust and reliable team that you can go back to and ask for support, ask for guidance. Because a lot of times when we hit like a bottleneck, it's this companionship. It's this like, there is also like entrepreneurship. There is also like the mission that we're doing, but the people that you're doing with, I think is really important. And I think like I can say after these 3 years that we have like quite a solid team, a technical team, a business team, and friends that we can rely on and continue working together, because I think that's really important. And you know, it truly is not about where the bus is going, but who is inside the bus. Doesn't matter how many times the door will open, if the people, they stay there and they continue the same journey, I think you can get further and faster when you have a solid team around you.
I love that. I've never heard that analogy put that way before, but I think it's spot on. Kevin, what about you?
I mean, Adriano, he one great thing is that he drives our vision as well. He reminds us of the goals and the missions. I'll just give you an example. In our early days, when Adriano himself was the only rider delivering packages. Very early days. And the software, it was all buggy. Sometimes buttons didn't work, and then he would always try to call it, like for example, his bike breaks down in the middle of the road, and he's like, I need to transfer this order to somebody else, can you help me, guys? But then we're there to support him. And I think that kind of talent, like Adriano's talent in the beginning of just drive. He's got that drive to go forward, and for us, we had that. We were just so passionate, so keen about building something like this, and he helped us maintain that vision that this is going to be great one day, and so we kept that, and we saw the future. He helped us see that, and that's why we want to help build this company, and thank you for that.
I think those are really important points, because it truly is, when we've started, the resources, we didn't start with the £1 million budget. We didn't start with 10 people working on the like 10 riders in an amazing place. We started in my garage. We started literally downstairs, one bike, one man band, and a team and an idea. And can this work? Can we do something? Can we add value to these people? And I think that's really important when we started. I mean, one of the things that also helped us a lot, I think, when we've started, I think our being naive, it was also one thing, I would say he helped us a lot, how naive we were.
I think you were the naive one.
Because one
I kind of knew what I was doing, but you...
I'll tell you why. Because I think that's one thing, our, can I say naivety?
Yeah.
Naivety, is that right? So I would say my naivety now, so since he's already saying that. So, but we worked on this software. Yeah, it was the first version of our software, and I'm thinking myself, oh, it's going to explode, and this is going to be massive, and it's going to be great. We're gonna, help a number of customers, help a number of people. And I remember us working about 4 to 6 months in the first version of our software, the first version of our product. And we worked relentlessly. We put all the requirements. We got designers and everyone else. And we went to production. We went live, and I was so excited, and this is going to be amazing, and concerned about the number of orders we're going to receive and everything. To the first day, nobody even there's no order, nothing happened. And
to make matters worse, on the very initial phases of the company, Adriano put together actually quite a big team. I think there was 7 or 8 people were getting involved, and then at the end of the day, 6 of them just dropped out. They said, no, we got other things to do. They didn't maintain that vision. But myself and Dimitrios, back in engineer as well, we kind of okay, no, we see potential here. This is really an interesting project. Let's stick to it.
On a day where 6 people dropped out, what made you still see the potential in this business?
Naivety.
It's going to work.
No, I thought that it works. I mean, looking at current trends at the time, if you think about it logically, current trends at the time, delivery is still a big thing. Right? It's $1 billion industry, more than $1 billion industry, and we thought that definitely we can get a piece of the pie and just keep going, and I'm sure we will capture customers, we'll capture the market. On top of that, we were dealing with sustainable delivery, okay, which is what gives us that edge. Furthermore, it's the 60-minute delivery. So put these 2 challenges together, and I think it makes a very competitive product. So that's what made me at least stay there, as well as, of course, the friendships and the banters, meeting at 4 o'clock in the morning online. And it was just so enjoyable. Even though it was a bit stressful from the beginning, it's still stressful now, but we have fun as well.
So let's talk about the product itself, because One Livery has 2 core target customers. you've got the high street retail, but then you've got the pharmacies and the hospitals where you're targeting them for medication delivery. So in your own words, and either one of you can take this, or maybe both of you, because I'll be interested to hear both of your perspectives on this. How would you describe what OneLivery does for its customers for the high street retail side of things?
Yeah, so on the high street retailers, think of yourself as a business owner. You have your brick and mortar store, you have an amazing product, and you're selling for several years on your store, but you've never been online. You've never captured the online boom. Yeah. So OneLivery is an opportunity for business owners, independent retailers to sell online and have their goods delivered fast, CO2 free. We take all the risks that you would have to undertake to digitize your store, digitize your product, build a website, sell your products online, take payments, and not only that, in addition to doing all of these tasks up front, there's no guarantee that someone will come online and will buy your product. So you have to build traffic to your website. And once you convert, once you sell, then there is the 24 hours concern, the 24 hours expectations for your customer, for your consumers to receive the goods that you're selling. And then OneLivery takes all of that hassle out of your hands, and we bring your product by the hour to online shoppers without upfront costs. That's what we do.
I'm so glad that this is recorded, because I'm going to clip that one section for you.
Yeah.
I think you guys should run that as a Facebook ad targeted locally to the postcodes that you serve, because that is perfect for every retail business to listen to. Amazing.
Yeah.
Kevin, what about from your side? How would you describe it?
Have I not left anything for you?
I think
pretty much spot
he
on.
genuinely covered everything.
Fine. So, okay.
You can also tap into the sustainable last mile and the fast delivery, the track and trace for medication delivery. I think that's one thing that you can.
But he spoke about the high street retailers.
You could also tap into the sustainable.
Yeah, let's go for it. Go for it with
delivery.
the medication side of things. So,
One thing as well. Then I think that's really important that you can tap into is the complete solution for the retailers. It's also like where we take all the payments, like handling all the payments, GDPR, and all of that headache. We take those out of the way as well. Then
absolutely,
so maybe you can.
Like, I'll give you an example. So my family owns an optician in West London. Okay. We are an independent optician. We're not a multiple. We don't have a delivery team. We don't actually do any kind of delivery. So for a customer to come and get their product from us, they have to come to the store like how they would do normally, order their product, and then come back a couple of days or a week later, depending on how long it takes to make the product, to then actually have it in their hands. Whereas sometimes, especially for like some of the elderly patients that we have, sometimes it's quite difficult to come out. So how would you integrate with a business like that to be able to deliver that product for the business to their customer at home? And how does it work for the business end to end?
All right, so yeah, there's several solutions we're offering. The first one I think is our e-commerce platform. So we provide access to the store to create their own shop, their online e-commerce shop page on our website. And so we list out all their products. And one great thing about it is we're getting about 100,000 impressions, through, as per Google Analytics, we're getting over 100,000 impressions. So that gives them automatic exposure to the customers, for their customers. And that helps them for example, if there's a product that is exclusive to that store, and then they search it through Google, OneLivery, it just pops up. Like they can purchase it through OneLivery.
So, for example, like one of the products that we sell at the shop is like eye drops.
Okay.
So it's like a specific brand of eye drops. So if someone searches that on Google, that could come up against OneLivery's website, and then someone could place that order.
Absolutely, and then they'll get it in 60 minutes.
Whoa.
Guaranteed. And Adriano makes sure of that.
Wow. That's Adriano. I want to see Adriano delivering that product to someone. Okay, so how do you integrate into that business then? So what does the business have to do to be able to take advantage of this service?
So we try to minimize work for the store. So in addition to providing the platform, so if they have a list of products, they have the images, our team will go ahead and start to process it, make it look more SEO friendly, make it look more visually appealing. Then we'll upload it for the customer, and then simply we'll launch it. All the store has to do is just register, and we will get in touch with them on how to make it as easy as possible to set up online. And everything's pretty much in place. The payment system will be in place. The delivery, we will dispatch delivery personnel for any orders that come through.
And how would the business itself keep track of these orders coming through? How would they know when the order's been placed, and how would they know that they need to get that order ready for a delivery rider that's going to be coming to pick this order up?
Absolutely. We have the OneLivery e-commerce platform. So that from there, they'll be able to register how much quantity per product. They'll be able to see how many sales they've made and what's pending, and then they can take action upon that. So there needs to be a little bit of involvement from the store, but it's very minimal. It's almost like just a click of a button. They'll prepare the item, and our riders through the we have something called an order status page. So it will track where our riders are and at what proximity to the store, and then once they picked it up from the store, taken to the customer also will receive that notification that when the rider will be able to drop it off.
Yeah. So, and to build on that, how stores can join our marketplace, they can go online, they will register online, and they will be able to have access to a tool that we call the back office. And on that back office, they will put all the products that they want to sell online, and we will take care of all the technology. We'll take care of keeping that store available 99.9% of the time throughout the year. We'll take care of making sure that they receive notifications when a new purchase is made online, and we'll take care as well to deliver their goods to their online consumer once the purchase is completed. So we take all of this hassle from the retailers, and this is what makes us special, because we are we are a complete solution for local retailers to sell online, and we don't charge them upfront for that, because we are the technology, we are the people that provide access to those resources. And once they register with us, they have full access to the platform and the resources when we sell online.
Just to clarify on that, because I still think it's amazing that you guys do this, but for everyone listening, how much does it cost to be able to start working with you guys?
The right answer is zero. We don't charge anything for businesses to work with us. And that's because we believe in adding value to their journey. And this is the thing then, when you add value to other people's journey, there's no need of a contract. You don't have to hold customers on a 30 days notice period, on a minimum purchase contract or minimum time, because we believe in adding value to other people's journey. And when you do that, people will come for you. Customers, businesses, they want to work with you. And I think I truly believe in this. And it's what I talk to the guys in our meetings, in our development meetings, a lot. Like, we are about adding value to other business journey, to other people's journey. When we do that, there's no need for contracts. So that's why we run a no-win, no-fee model.
Now, first of all, that's fascinating, because not many businesses operate that way. So it really shows that you're you're really backing your own product to be able to deliver the solution. Now, one of the things that you guys have mentioned is that, and Adriano, we spoke about this last time as well, that you guys are 40% more efficient than your closest competitors in being able to perform this last mile delivery. 40% more efficient is a huge amount of increased efficiency compared to your closest competitors. So how are you able to be so efficient? What is it about One Livery specifically that makes it so streamlined in its ability to complete last mile delivery in the way that you do?
Yeah, very good question. And there's two main reasons why we were able to tackle this efficiency in the business. It wasn't from day one. It wasn't from the first month or the third month. We relentlessly worked on our software and our solution to create a bespoke system to maximize e-bike delivery services. So there's two particular elements for this that contributes to us to reach to this efficiency. The first one is the e-bikes that we have that enable our riders to keep momentum. It doesn't matter if our riders are tired, if it's like an uphill delivery or downhill, the electric vehicles will help our riders to keep the momentum and the motors they will kick in to keep their speed. And this is one part of the solution. The second part is really the software. It's really the product that we built to maximize the routes that we're going out for delivery. So, for example, on average, our orders have anywhere between 10 to 15 drop-offs. So let's, for example, for simplification, let's say that we're going out to do like 10 deliveries, 10 drop-offs order. Yeah. So the system will calculate 3.6 million different routes for that particular order. So what we do, we build like a mathematical computation that it's called a 10 factorial. The system will analyze for each one of these drop-offs all the permutations that we could possibly deliver to those recipients, and it will spin out in less than 3 seconds the best routes, the most optimal route based on the vehicle that we used to deliver that order. And that's what make us efficient, and that's what help us to deliver 40% more efficiently than our closest competitor.
Yeah, we took that and we actually packaged it. We saw that, okay, this is a great technology that we've built, and we package it to actually give it more accessibility to other users. So we called it multi-drop tool, right? We call it the multi-drop tool. Also, we've created another instance of it for pharmacies. So it's also a little bit unique for our pharmacy customers, and we called it the RX drop tool. So yeah, once we package it, this particular tool, it's able to do something called route optimization using the 10 factorial that you mentioned, right? Technology. And yeah, we're able to ensure that riders can pick up the package in one go and then drop off at an optimal route in order to save time.
And the beauty of that is that you don't have to know where you're going. You don't have to know the geolocation for the area that you're delivering. You can just like pass on to any rider as long as they follow the system, as long as they follow the routes, they will be able to tap into those numbers and also be help out and start delivering at a maximum speed and efficiency from day one.
That is incredible. I mean, how did you even come up with the idea that creating a solution like this was even possible?
Well, actually, we didn't think of that from the beginning. This is one thing that we learned on the way, and doing deliveries to to other businesses. So myself, I always talk to everyone when I'm out on the streets. So I would often talk to delivery riders, Getir, and a number of these fast company delivery services. And I never knew that when we first built our solution, I just thought we are just like doing another one, and this is our way of doing deliveries. And I later learned that it doesn't happen the same with other companies. It's a very different way to operate, and if you take one of these super fast, let's say grocery delivery services, and you ask their riders in the street the number of deliveries they would do per hour, you would get anything between 4 and 6 to be like a very, very rushed hour. And on average, our riders, they deliver about 10 drop-offs per hour. And that's what our system allows you to do. Very relaxed. You're not rushing. You can even push that to 15 deliveries, and you can easily do that if you know what you're doing.
I remember the why we needed it. It was when Adriano and his other, I think he had like maybe one or two more riders assisting him in those early days, and it's already nearly the end of the day, and they were only delivering like maybe 1 or 2 packages in that day, and it's because of the distance. And then they had like 10 other packages to deliver, and they're like, guys, we need a better way of doing this, right? We need to, because I'm going from East London to West London to the South, and then now I have to go back to pick up a package, and I have to go back to East London. So this is not very optimal, and we're losing on our promise of 60 minutes. So then myself and the engineering team, we had to sit down and say, look, we need to come up with a good algorithm to optimize their routes so we can maintain that guarantee of 60 minutes.
I'm blown away. Honestly, it's amazing to be able to sit here and listen to how you've created this solution. And I think it's really important for anyone listening to this as well, who might even be inspired to create a solution of their own for something completely separate. You don't have to have the answer on day one. You have to start with an idea of what it is you want to do. And then as you progress through that, you will start to see what's working, what's not working, and then be able to adapt. How important has it been for you guys to be able to be in a position where you can consistently adapt to change? And how have you made that possible, especially since at the beginning, you haven't gone in with like millions of funds being raised for investment? How have you been able to grow and evolve the company without having an unlimited amount of funding in the background?
That's one thing that I was surprised myself, and I didn't expect that at all. When we first started the company, when we first started the idea, our motivation was really to reduce carbon emissions and take vans out of the street and help local retailers to transition to a more clean way to grow and then really to bring the technology to these retailers.
How have you been able to keep evolving the company and making it more efficient, especially when you haven't had the financial backing that would sometimes be needed to allow this kind of evolution and consistency of improving in a company to happen?
Yeah, this is a very important, because when we first started, we had the mission to help local retailers and really to support clean growth. That was our inspiration, let's say, to help to bring the technology to these retailers. What happened later is that I started going around the block and telling people, hey, from day one we had no deliveries when we deployed our solution into the market, and I thought like our system was broken to start with. Like no one is ordering, and what's wrong with this, guys? Can you order something and then I will see if I will receive the order. Is it working? And that was pretty much like what happened the first day, and at least for the first 10 days that our solution was there. And it was really myself going around the block and telling people like, hey, do you need deliveries? Do you actually, would you benefit from this? And it was really around the PCR test that we had to deliver PCR. Like everyone has to do a test and needs to go to a laboratory. And then from that onwards, we managed to get a few customers around the block. And it's just like it blew up. And one customer said that they had another customer, if we could help another customer, and it became this snowball. And they start asking us to go further and further. We were operational in 3 districts. Now we're operational in 25 districts in London, and we do deliveries from southwest to northwest, east to west, and we are inside 2 major hospitals in London, delivering medications. We help St George's Hospital. We deliver for Chelsea and Westminster Hospital, and all of this, it was done by referral. We've never spent a single penny in marketing and letting other people know what we do. It was word of mouth, and the majority of these people, they just referred us to their own businesses or their partner businesses that they thought we were adding value, and here we are today.
Yeah, I'm a strong believer that innovation comes from struggle. Okay, innovation comes from not for a place where it's so comfortable. Okay, it has to come from there's either a challenge or a problem, and then an innovation is born. So if you talk about budget, too much budget is probably a bad thing. It probably kills innovation because a company gets lazy, and since having minimal, like, real genius comes from where you have almost no resources, minimal resources, and you're able to create something. And I think that's the beauty of it, and that's the beauty of our pursuit.
Absolutely love that. I think that's so true, because if you become too comfortable, there's no tension to make you need to do something else.
Yeah.
To make you need to do something different. So you guys are very good at developing new solutions. You're very good at adapting to what the market needs, and you're very good at getting yourself out there, even when it looks like there's no customers there, to go and get yourself some customers, which is amazing. When you're building these solutions in the background, how do you draw the line between needing a solution to be perfect before it's rolled out, to having a solution that maybe is more like a MVP or a good enough product that you can roll out and test as soon as possible? Where do you draw that line?
Yeah, I think we'll have 2 different answers here, from the business side and from the technology side. So I'll go first. And I think what we want to do from the business perspective, it's really does it fulfill the core function for the customer, what the customer needs to be addressed? Is that really working and get them going where they need to? I think that's really the first part of the answer, to understand where's the line. So what is good? So I think another element of that, it's one thing that I learned throughout my consultancy experience, which means that how good is good? How do you define good? When is something good?
How do you define it?
So those are really those are tough questions, and for tough questions, they require tough answers. And most of the time, as a software engineer, you don't particularly have the answer in one aspect of it. But if you think about businesses and how technology evolves, from the business perspective, you rather want to have something imperfect in your customer's hand than have nothing at all. So you better source something to them that they can get along to do what they need, than provide them nothing whatsoever. And if you find a way to fulfill that, that's where you think that, hey, well, I want to. So, for example, when we first started, the only thing we had was the ability for a customer to book a delivery from point A to point B. Nothing else. And that was and that's where it comes this naivety of thinking that, we have the world, everything is sorted with this simple thing that we built. And it was just later on when we first had our first month of operations, that customers came back to us and say like, hey, how do we pay, Adriano? Like, I want to place like 100 orders like throughout the day, but I mean, making payments every time, it's a bit tiring. How can we do that? And then we look back like, oh, we don't have this. And then you start building on top of that. And then we start building like a payment system. And then we start building like automation. And then we build on top of that. But when we first released our product into the market, it was not even UI friendly. It was basically, oh, you're booking from here to that. It will fix your problem. It will actually fulfill your requirements. Think about the user. Think about what the users want and what they actually need. Sometimes even what they want and what they need, they're two completely different things. And if you have a clear vision of that journey, so then you know that is good enough to release or not.
One thing we were really, really lucky, and this is where Adriano's relationship skills come to play. He actually built a really good relationship with selected customers, selected pharmacies, for example, selected high streets retailers who are actually willing to support us by experimenting. So when they gave us some of their grievances of the system, some of their comments, we tried our best to build it, and then we didn't want to just release it out there. We wanted to because we coming from naivety, we don't know everything. Okay, we're building something new, we're innovating, we have no idea this is going to work or not. So we give it to Adriano. He passes on to some of his close customers that he's built that good relationship with. They've tested it out. They said, okay, we're not happy with this, or we're happy with this. It can be better in this way. And I think that valuable feedback and then very quick, rapid feedback was what helped us along this journey.
Yeah, and I think like just to add on that point, I think when your customers, they trust what you're doing, they will have a higher threshold of patience, let's say tolerance towards mistakes. They were
definitely patient.
So this is really important, because when you let your people up front to say like, hey, Adriano, we need to have this, and you're upfront to your customers, and then you tell them like, hey, we don't have this, but we can build that for you. This is the struggle to build it because of X, Y, and Z. They will be more understandable if you take them into this journey and then you let them know like, hey, we don't have this, but we could possibly build that in like next week.
Yeah.
Which they hate me to say that.
Absolutely.
And this is like customers, they will be more inclined to accept failure, to accept that something doesn't work. And then continue like working with us because of that. And I think that's also really important, to let your customers know that even though you don't have that, you can work towards something, and it will be imperfect maybe in the first couple of weeks, but then things will get better along the way.
Adriano's out here offering 60-minute turnarounds on new software for your customers.
That is true. Almost there.
Almost there, yeah.
Guys, this has been an absolute pleasure, and I want to finish off on more of a personal note. So with a business that has so many moving parts, with the two of you as co-founders being in separate countries, managing different teams, as well as your clients, your customers, and the tech side of things as well, how do you both manage your own mental health in this business? Because I can imagine that it can get quite intense at times. So as founders and as people who are looking after other people in the business as well, how do you look after yourselves in the process to make sure that you're showing up in the best way possible for your business, your customers, and your team?
Yeah, great question. And to start with, in a startup environment, mental health doesn't exist. But on a more serious note,
there's no time for mental health.
There's no time for mental health. If you really want to get on with your journey,
go crazy or go hard.
Just go crazy or go home. That's what you do. But yeah, on a more serious note, one thing very important, and I learned this throughout my consultancy experience as well, and even working with them, you have to be really patient working with Kevin. And but I think like for my side, it's really to detach yourself from system and processes. And when there is a problem that you identify or other people are raising to you, it's not a particular problem with you on itself. It's a problem with the system. And you have really to think very carefully about that, because this is one thing that I pass on to the team as well then, because when you deal with other people, things can get really complex. We are not logical species. We are emotional species. We don't talk through reasoning. We talk through emotions. And when emotion is involved, emotion and businesses, they don't go together. And you really have to think about the system and processes that are failing to deliver that function, to deliver that particular process. So if you have a rider that has a problem with the bikes or with the deliveries, or they don't know what to do, it's not really a problem with you or a problem with the company, but the system that is not working. So I always talk to our people. I always try to help them to understand it's not the problem itself. It's not you that is the problem. It's the system. We need to change the system, because tomorrow somebody else will come and will face the same thing. So how do we handle that? That's really important, even like for our customers. So to understand the workflow. So we don't change people, we change systems and behaviors, and that's how we try to separate yourself. So that's how I try to detach myself from the system and the business. So that helps me to keep a clear mind and my mental health all together.
It's an interesting perspective. I like that.
Yeah.
Kevin, what about you?
I live by a beach in Thailand, so I don't really have a problem. Yeah,
no problem. Very different.
This is why it's having to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. That's why, and I didn't know this whole time.
After 5 a.m. meeting, I'm just heading off to the beach, do a bit of work. I'm good, yeah. No, but in seriousness, I think, to be honest, Adriano, he kind of takes away a lot of that pressure. Because he creates that balance between getting things done for the customer, but at the same time making sure that we have that buffer space to work, the buffer time. So I'm absolutely grateful. Myself and the team are absolutely grateful for Adriano's patience with us. He's really a superhuman when it comes to this sort of matters, with having that patience to deal with customers, dealing with the riders whenever there are issues, and then of course dealing with our complaints and our problems from development perspective. Just to reiterate, it's all about systematic thinking. We have to take whatever we do, we try to systemize it, think about how do we get start the process and how do we get to finish the process, and just maintain that ultimate focus without paying attention to all the distraction and all the noise. I think that really helps, because we have that one goal. We're trying to achieve the goal. Actually, not one goal. We have many goals, but we're focused on those goals, and I think that helps to help maintain with our mental health, as well as the beach. So,
Kevin the genius, Adriano the superhuman. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much, Dipesh.
Thank you, Dipesh. Before we finish, can I just ask one question?
Please go for it.
Yeah.
Oh God, now you're gonna put me on the spot.
Yeah, there you go. No, actually, I want to know, why is his shirt whiter than mine on the camera then? That is my one question. I don't understand that.
I watched this 5 minutes before the podcast. nervously.
Yeah, exactly.
I gotta look good. I gotta look good for the camera.
Well, gotta say, looks on point, so we're good.
Brilliant, thank you.
Guys, thank you so much.